We present to you the best Christmas pageant ever. We hope you enjoy.
The Hermans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls. They taught dirty and cussed their teachers. They took the name of the Lord in vain and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old, broken down schoolhouse. There are 6 of them. Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Clyde, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Will John Wilson School like those South American fish that scrub your bones clean. They went around the same way, stealing things and tearing things up, and whamming kids. So, it was hard to get away from them. There's only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmen there.
That's what little brother Charlie. That's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked his favorite thing about church. Charlie said, "No Hermans."
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All the other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about church is that the Hermans aren't there. Ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you,
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she's mean, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Well, tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children aren't in the Christmas pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan to go. You know how crowded it always is. They can use my seat. I'll just stay home, put on my bathrobe, relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
There's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
why don't you be Joseph? Elma Hopkins will pay your daughter to Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph every single year. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
Well, from what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Oh, way in the manger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or a bedsheet. I'm going to Washington TV.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Miss Armstrong just likes to run things.
Right, of course. She directs the pageant, she is chairman of the bazaar, she runs the potluck supper. Well, I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, maybe she'll try to manage the hospital because that's where she is. I saw George at the drugstore. Told me his wife broke her leg this morning. She's going to be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up to the first of the year.
The first of the year? Well, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
Yes, she's in charge of Christmas. She's in charge of the bazaar. Well, I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
All right. Okay. I'll take over the bazaar, Edna, if you'll handle the potluck supper. But I don't know what in the world we'll do about the pageant. Unless, how about Grace?
How about Grace? That's a great idea, Irma. I'll call her. Hello, Grace?
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you call a forced entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the least unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story, and the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother's stuck with, that Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose our Mary carefully because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph and how he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain that. But frankly, I don't ever spend much time on Joseph because it is always Elmer Hopkins, and he knows everything about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How is she on the phone if she's in traction?
Do you even know what traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
I wish. Beth, we need salt, pepper, and napkins.
But I do explain about the wise men and the shepherds and how important they are. And I tell them there are no small parts, only small actors. Grace, you want to be sure that the angel choir don't stare at the audience. And don't let them wear earrings and things like that. And don't let them wear clunky shoes or high heels. Grace, if you have too many angels, that would be your biggest problem.
You will leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy heard me stole my lunch again.
Why do you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
But you will need someone to push the angels on. Your Bob could do that. And he could keep an eye on those other shepherd boys, too. Oh, another thing about angels, Grace. They don't let them wear lipstick. They be because it's play
Helen, I have to go. There's someone at my door.
that they have to wear lipstick. And it looks terrible.
Someone at my door, Helen.
Oh, another thing, Grace. Don't use just anybody's name for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two. Then if one turns out to be fussy, you can always switch them.
Bye, Helen.
Grace? Grace?
Lady, can you give me some supper? I hadn't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, it's you.
I was lonesome at the table.
Well, Helen's lonesome at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I bet she told you about no small parts. Only small actors.
And getting someone to shut the baby angels on and make the shepherds just shut up.
Yes, you suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said all she was stuck in the hospital just thinking out problems. But of course, there were going to be problems this year. And plus, she didn't count on the Hermans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Lee, were you giving me back my lunch?
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again?
How do you know?
Because isn't here?
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day? And you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind of dessert?
All kinds. Chocolate cake, and candy bars, and cookies, and Twinkies, and big wheels. We get refreshments all the time. All we want.
You're a liar.
and ice cream and cupcakes and donuts. Who gives it to you? The minister? Why? Is he crazy? No, I think he's rich. Sunday school. Huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell the Hermans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
Hey, you. What's a pageant? It's a play. Like on TV? What's it about? It's about Jesus. Everything here is. And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary. Who's Mary? I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part. Mary, huh?
Come on, Beth. Charlie. You and Elmer come. Now this won't take very long if you all settle down. Today we're going to decide who will play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. But you know what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you? There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong tells you?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to be on the front row of the angel choir, or else they won't see them.
Well, not exactly. It means that the littlest angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means the short kids have to be on the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? You little children will be our angels, so please remind your mothers that you need bed sheets. And people in the angel choir will need bed sheets too. And if any of you have any old bathrobes at home, what's the matter? Ow! Well, let's make some room there for the Herdmans. What happened to Beverly?
She went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
No. All I did was say, "Hey, Beverly," and she just left.
I see. Well, will someone please remind Beverly about the rehearsals? The next 4 Wednesdays after school. Everyone must be here.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick and we didn't even start yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, I want you to think about Mary and what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and gentle and kind, and the person that plays Mary should try to be that kind of person. Do we have any volunteers? Imogene, did you have a question?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, I'll just make a list of volunteers and then we'll decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Did you have a question?
No.
Just raise your hands, please. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Oh, very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. And then we'll decide what other names can I put on my list. Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys. They don't have to be. And we could...
I'll be a wise man. Me too. Claude, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
What's a wise man?
Just raise your hand.
What's that to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's an angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherd. There, we do have a volunteer. Would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just wanted to say I could be a shepherd. I'm going to Philadelphia.
Well, didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Why, Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just brought the news to the shepherds.
And hits them.
No. Elmer, that's ridiculous. I don't want to hear another word about it. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, let's take a 5-minute break. And get some water. Alice, what's the matter with you? I expect, why didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Ow!
Alice,
Cut it out!
I expected you.
Let go!
Volunteer.
Bradley,
Don't
let
you
us
want to be
go.
married?
Well, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said I'm going to be married in this play. If you raise your hand or open your mouth, you wish you didn't. And I said I'm always marrying the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then. Next spring, when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick pussy willows so far down your ear that no one can reach it. And it'll sprout there and grow. And you'll spend the rest of your life with the pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Parents will do anything. Just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole Christmas pageant. It'll be all your mother's fault.
Hello. Helen, how are you feeling?
Much better. Oh, this has been horrible.
Oh,
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you. I hope you're having a nice holiday.
Well, that's so good to see both of you. well, tell me. I've been out of the loop.
What's going
new?
on?
Irma, Helen, have you heard about the Herdmans being in the pageant? It must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would the 6 of them end up in a Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
And I heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be Mary in the Christmas pageant. Ladies, I live next door to them. I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? To be Mary, the mother of Jesus?
Ooh.
Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know?
He was visiting shut-ins.
Visiting shut-ins? Well, he wasn't visiting me.
Oops.
I know. And I know you're a shut-in. Well, I said to Grace, why don't you just let them hand out programs at the door? Grace said, we don't have programs at the pageant.
Better nail down the church, lock up the silver service, and hide the collection plates before they clean those out.
What's the matter with Grace? Couldn't she have sent them away? Tell them to go home? I know. Ladies, I feel so responsible. If I had been up and around, you know, this never would have happened.
Yes, we know.
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me, Grace, on your side. Car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive that can run a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind to do the best job I could under the circumstances, and I'm gonna make this the best Christmas pageant ever, and I'm gonna do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and nobody else did, and I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. The car's over there.
And you're gonna help me.
Does that mean?
You have to go. The inn is back here off stage, and the shepherds come in and gather around the manger.
The shepherds, where did they come from?
What's an inn? It's like a motel where people go to spend the night. What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel? Shut up, Holly. Everybody, shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this pageant is. So I better read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? That they never heard the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is. And they've never been to church in their whole life until your dumb brother told them we have refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right now. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant. She was pregnant.
That's enough. We all know that Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary is pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not allowed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
They didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them? Her pregnant and everything. What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a baby and didn't have a bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
There you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed, only Ollie was still in it and he didn't like Gladys. Remember how he didn't like Gladys?
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
They said in there she wrapped them in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap their babies up very tightly in large pieces of material to keep them warm and cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
Child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem. I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch of their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them in the glory.
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night, horrible adventures, the mighty Martha.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The mighty Martha out of Amazing Comics.
It's the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? In the black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense.
What's that?
And myrrh.
What's that?
They're spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of a present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare. What are the welfare? The wise men?
They were kings, and they were sick.
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, the main king, and he wanted to have Jesus put to death.
He just got born. They're going to kill a baby?
Who's Herod in the play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill the baby, and he's not even in the play? Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod, and he says, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's a king and all.
But then they don't do it, and they go back and get Herod.
I'm not going to be Herod.
No one's going to be Herod.
No. Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod. Bang, 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 bang.
See? They're going to put one in. It's going to be me, and I'll get killed.
Hey, forget about Herod. There's no Herod.
I run away with the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody ought to get the innkeeper. Gladys, you get the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't just hang around out in the barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't.
Then I'd throw somebody out. I'd tell them I've got this baby, and it's the middle of winter, so either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I send the angel after him. She could just point her electric finger from Paul Ashley.
Yeah, Zach.
What's the name of this play? She never said.
Christmas pageant.
That's no name.
I know a name. I call her Revenge at Bethlehem.
Revenge at Bethlehem. The Hermits thought the Christmas story came out of the FBI files. Was picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, but not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Silkle. But Mrs. Silkle said she wasn't letting Imogene Herman get his hands on him. So we didn't have baby Jesus, and not bother my mother. She even tried to scratch the baby, even up to the last rehearsal. What do you keep on writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the Hermans. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Miss Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. And they steal, too. If you take the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time we go into the ladies' room, the whole air is blue. And Imogene Herman is sitting there in the Mary costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote this down before, Alice?
For my mother, Reverend Hawkins, and the Ladies' Aid Society, and anybody else who wants to know when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
All right, everyone, let's get quiet. Now, this is our last dress rehearsal.
Grace, I just wanted to tell you that we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
It's supposed to be.
Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a baby a month or so ago? A little girl?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old, and
I was wondering how it would be if I were to call her up and ask her if we could borrow.
Grace, no. I could make up some lie and tell you that baby's sick or cranky or something, but the truth is she's perfectly healthy and happy and beautiful, and we want her to stay that way. So there's no way we're going to hand her over to Imogene Herman. Sorry, Grace.
Miss Bradley, you can have my little brother for Jesus.
Oh, Elmer, I didn't know you had a new baby at home.
He's not new. He's 4 years old, but he's double jointed and he could probably scrunch up.
I don't think.
I'll get us a baby.
Oh, how can you do that?
There's always 2 or 3 babies in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll get one of those.
Imogene, you can't just walk off with somebody's baby. Forget about the baby. We'll just use the doll.
Yeah, that's better anyway. A doll can't bite you.
Imogene, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. I got my ears pierced, and if I don't keep something in them, they'll grow together.
Well, they won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did your doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, here, pierce your ears.
Gladys. She probably did it with the ice pick. I'll bet Imogene's ears turn black and fall off.
We'll find something smaller. Is that your costume? Is that what you're going to wear? You're all supposed to have your costumes on today.
I can find my halo. My wings got all bent. Janet's got no robe. My mother doesn't have any white sheets. Can I wear a sheet with balloons on it?
I don't have a costume. I was never a shepherd before.
You have to wear your father's bathrobe. That's what I have to do.
He hasn't got a bathrobe.
What does he hang around the house in?
His underwear.
All right, pretend you're wearing your costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. So all of you go where you're supposed to be, and we'll start with the shepherds. Just read the last few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them and Shazam!
No, Gladys.
Out of the black night.
No. Go on, Maxine.
A multitude of heavenly hosts.
Music, wise men.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No. You don't say anything. Mary doesn't say anything. Mary and Joseph, let go. Get it back. Let's make a lovely picture for us to look at and think about Christmas. Now put the doll back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel tells me what to call the baby. I would have named him Bill. Oh, what a terrible thing to say.
What angel is that? There's angels all over this. There's angels all over the place. Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brought the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto you a child is born.
Unto me, not them. Me. I'm the one that had the baby.
No. That just means Jesus belongs to everyone. Unto all of us a child is born.
Why didn't they let Mary name her own baby? What did the angel do? Just walk up and say, name him Jesus? Yes. I know what the angel said. The angel said his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. He'd never get out of the first grade if he had to write all that.
They'll never get out of it. Mrs. Bradley, what should I do? Should I start over?
5 minutes, Maxine. 5 minutes, everyone.
We never did start over, and we never did go through the whole thing. The 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogen Herman, for the whole time, smoked cigars in the ladies' room. And Miss McCarthy, she went in the ladies' room and saw all the smoke, and called the fire department, and they came right away.
Kids in here, get them out. What's up, y'all? Get out of here. Here. Ow, quit biting me.
They cleared everybody out of the building, looking for a fire to put out. But the only fire they found was in the kitchen. All the applesauce cake burned up. And Miss McCarthy, she was mad. And my mother's mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
Oh, there was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
No, that couldn't have been. You just got excited, and now look, the church is full of firemen. The angels are crying in the streets, and there's shepherds climbing all over the fire trucks in half the neighborhood. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Alice's mother was mad, and the whole ladies' aid society was mad. And Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, she still pay her tithes though. She gonna be over this pageant. I get on the telephone all day and I can't make word what's going on. Some people say you set fire to the kitchen. Some people say you set fire to the ladies' room. Alice Whittaker says all you do is talk about sex and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear, and nobody set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen where the applesauce cake burned up.
Grace, I just know that the Bible say that you need to suffer the little children that come on to some of them. But I know he wasn't talking about hurt. Grace, don't you think we should cancel this here pageant?
I bet that was Edna McCarthy's idea.
We can blame it on the fire. It makes for a good excuse.
I bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
Grace, I just think this whole pageant here just gonna be a
disaster? Well, they're wrong. It's gonna be the best Christmas pageant ever.
You think that, don't you? I don't think nobody gonna come see it, but they better pay the tithe though.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie. But on Christmas Eve, the church was jam full. Everybody came to see what the Hermans would do.
I can't even see where I'm going with this thing.
Let me turn the light on. Watch your step. Whoa.
What in the world are you going to do with this thing?
Well, would look like a palm tree, but I can see now that it doesn't. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. We've never once gone through the whole thing, and the Herdmans still think it's some kind of spy story. It may be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph gets in a fight with the wise men and Mary runs away with the baby. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are down in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I mean, our kids?
We're here.
Well, it's getting late. Where's your costumes?
It's just really awful, you know. They look like trick or treat, all dirty and stuck together, and wearing the moldy old sneakers. Mary and Joseph, I mean. They look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were. Mary and Joseph, they were refugees in a way. They were a long way from home. They didn't know anybody. They didn't have any place to stay. They were probably hungry and tired and messy.
I don't know about hungry and tired, but they sure are messy.
Oh, do you think I should?
I think you worry too much. Let's see, I hand out shepherd crooks. When do I do that?
Just follow the script.
Let's see. Shepherds, angels, wise men. Doesn't seem to say here where the fire engine comes in.
Oh.
Just kidding, just kidding.
Beth, I want you and Alice down front where you can help with the angels. Will you all just come on stage, please? I just want to see how you look. To be. And let's try to be quiet as people are coming. And good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. They say break a leg.
I know that, Alice, but in this case, I don't think... It's just a theatrical saying. It doesn't really mean break a leg, your own or anyone else's. And Imogene, try to remember that that's a baby. And for tonight, anyway, it's the baby Jesus. Jackie, is the choir ready?
Yes, Miss Grace, we're as ready as we'll ever be.
Everybody, places, everyone. And action.
O little town of Bethlehem.
And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Away in a manger.
Doing with the baby. Oh, I don't think it's very nice to burp the baby Jesus as if you had colic.
Well, he could have colic just like any other baby, Alice.
I don't care. It looks awful, and they look awful.
So what? They just came a long way, and now they don't have any place to sleep, and they got a new baby to worry about.
Who? Ralph and Emma Jean?
No, Mary and Joseph.
And in that region, there were shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flocks by night.
While shepherds watch their flocks by night.
Wild shepherds watch their flocks by night, all seated on the ground. The angel of the Lord came down, and glory shone around. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone down. Hey! Unto you a child is born. It's Jesus. He's in the barn. Go on! Go see him! And suddenly there was a multitude of the heavenly host, saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among men.
Angels we have heard on high.
When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bearing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
We three kings of Orient are.
They look awful too. And what's that Leroy's got?
It's a ham.
A ham? Then they must hate ham.
Well, even if they hate him, Alice, it's the only thing they ever gave away in their whole life.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Good night.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep on heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Beth, look! Mary's crying. Mary's crying.
Could you believe that was Imogen Herdman and all the rest of them?
You know, I always get weepy with the Christmas pageant. I guess it's the children and the carols and all. But it really was a different pageant, and I thought it was going to be the worst one. And it was the best.
There was just something different.
Well, yeah, the angel of the Lord was different.
Yes, but you know I like that. Had lots of spirit. I need to go find Grace and tell her.
Oh, and I wish now that I'd let her have baby Eugene to be the baby Jesus.
Who was the baby Jesus?
Well, it was a doll.
Oh, I don't think so, Irma. That was no doll.
Oh, it did look real.
It did seem real, as if it might have just happened just that way. We all thought Pageant was about Jesus. That was only part of it. It was mostly about a mother and father that were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor they knew, and then arriving from the east, like some rich friends. Because of the Hermans, it was a whole new story. Imogen burping the baby, and the wise men bringing such a suitable present, and they couldn't even eat frankincense. Even Gladys, go see him. He's in the barn. So the shepherds didn't have to stumble around all over the countryside. But I guess it was like that for Imogen. For her, the Christmas pageant was a wonder and mystery, as if she just caught on what Christmas was all about. When we were done, we had a party in the basement, but the Hermans didn't stay long. They didn't have any cocoa, and they wouldn't take off with all the cookies, and they wouldn't take their candy canes.
I guess that's about it. Where are all the keys? All the kids? Any keys left downstairs?
No, they're all gone. You know you're in your bathrobe, right? You're not going to wear it, are you?
Why not? I wouldn't mind me taking for a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Oh, yes, you would. Somebody came over and hugged me because I was a shepherd. Should I bring that ham?
It's the herdman's hand from the welfare basket. They gave it as a present. Leroy said it's a present. You don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? He must hate him.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
It's almost time. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.
Unto you a child is born.